TV.
Welcome everyone to the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center for Junior B OLA Lacrosse. The Owen North Stars host the Elora Mohawks here tonight to start a 7-game homestand for the North Stars. As we get ready to send it to Fred Wallace for the national anthem. After the national anthem, we are ready for some Junior B lacrosse. The Elora Mohawks come in as one of, if not the best team in all of the Junior B division. They're 11-2-1. The one tie coming against St. Catharines. They, as you see there, in 14 games, they have 23 points. Far and away the best team in the division with Cambridge, Guelph, and Owen Sound. In fairness, though, every team's 500 or better, and every team has had their moments this season, including these very Owen Sound North Stars beating Cambridge at home. They lost in their most recent game to Cambridge down in the QW area, but they now tonight host the Elora Mohawks, who have lost a couple games as of late, but continue to be one of the best teams. They lost 2 in a row to the Bengals of Hamilton and Six Nations, but they've won 4 straight since, including 27-5 over the Welland Generals and 21-3 over the Point Edward Pacers. So Elora looking to put another 20 spot up tonight, while Owen Sound again looks to fix up a result against Cambridge down in KW, 11-8 loss, but before that beat Cambridge 12-11 here at the Bayshore, and beat Point Edward 15-9 in overtime here at the Bayshore. So Owen Sound's had pretty good luck here at home in Owen Sound, and Elora on a 4-game heater look to get themselves back into the top spot in the Junior B. It looks like Nick Sanderson will be starting in net for the Owen Sound North Stars. The ankle doesn't look to be too bugging him as bad. He had an ankle injury coming back from field lacrosse, coming back into the summer box season, but it looks like he's a little bit better there with that ankle, and we're still waiting to see who's starting in net there for the Elora Mohawks, pardon me. You see there Sam Forbes' numbers. He has been the main starter. The former Owen Sound North Star in Sam Forbes has been a stalwart for them the last 2 years in Elora, as they were a 17-3 team last year. They ended up losing to St. Catharines, the Athletics, last year in the quarterfinals. You see Nick Sanderson there, so we still have some equipment issues going on at the Elora side, which cannot be nice for Owen Sound, because you got to think that they would have hoped that this Elora team would have came, I guess a little bit more prepared is the words I'll say, but it looks like a net issue there for Sam Forbes, and he'll now make his way towards his net, as Forbes again is the main starter for these Mohawks, as he'll now make his way. Elora's got the top point getter in Brindley Wilson, who I did get a chance to speak to before the game. You'll see him, I believe, in between the first and second period. Leading the league with 104 points on the year, 18 above the man in second place. I think that's Jamie Patterson of Cambridge, as we are now off here at the Bayshore. fighting for it. There are both teams. Owen Sound may come away with it, though. Everyone converges, and it falls right in front of me here in the penalty box. Played around, and now a chance for Elora to go. They will now gain the first possession of the game. Will the Mohawks, and quickly it comes to Brindley Wilson, the leading point getter in all of the OLA. Ball into Detweiler. That shot, I believe, was saved by Sanderson. Sanderson pointing out Detweiler, who's second on the team in points. Dangerous offensive weapon is Keegan Detweiler. He hands it off to Nate Renault, who's also, I believe, top 4 in points. They got 4 guys with over 50, and Renault's one of them. And there's another guy with a lot of points, Evan McDougall. He's tied with JJ Levine as that one dripped through, and it is Keegan Detweiler who makes it 1-0. Early start for the Mohawks, get one within a minute of this one starting up, and with how good this Elora team is, especially offensively, there's no surprise that Weiler's second on the team in goals with 33, making 34 with that one. Second on the team in points with 75, making 76 on that rip. He just beat the short side of Nick Sanderson. That face-off won back by Elora. Something that Owen Sound has struggled with throughout this season have been the draws, and that seemingly has continued with the first 2 tonight. They are obviously missing their main face-off taker in Elliot Thompson, who's only played 5 games this year. Of the, I believe, quick maths here, about 12. Actually, I think it's 13 with the overtime loss. Played across the top. Elora looking to get their third real offensive chance here. That ball played down by McDougall. It misses everybody, and it's taken by Gardner Patak, who's about to lose his footing, but he kind of got caught up high there as well as he got away. Now Logan Claggs will take a second here to find an offensive option. He'll give it off to Carter Moran, and Owen Sound might have their first offensive motion here. Holden Stevenson out on the offensive end with, looks like the lineup. That's Morrison's shot. That one saved by Forrest. Moran should retrieve it. He has a fresh shot clock to boot. Moran makes a move, plays it into the middle, beats everybody but Tyson Morrison, played up to the top. That one's Cole Hutchinson. Hutchinson fires, and there's a whistle here, and I'm trying to figure out what that was, and there was a buzzer here, so I think it's going to be Owen Sound possession as he fired as the buzzer went off. And I think it was a possession, so possession will go back to Owen Sound. I'm not exactly sure what happened down below me, but we'll get a chance here as Cole Hutchinson will start with it. Maybe some clock issues that have to be my assumption. And it looks like some clock malfunctioning here at the Bayshore. Not the only malfunctions they've had. Maybe not on the rink's end, but on our end especially. You'll get a chance to see that for our interviews. Our normal interview camera was not functioning. As you see there, Brindley Wilson, the 18 points above with 104, 50 goals, already eclipsing his 48 of last year. He had 105 points last year as Moran takes a shot, and it's saved by Sam Forbes. Retrieved by Nate Laycock, who I spoke to. You'll get a chance to see him in between the second and third period. Laycock fires. That one just wide. I don't think it touched anybody, but sprinting on the floor is Owen Taval, and that ball almost swept by Sanderson, who does collect it. I wasn't surprised Sanderson didn't come out to play it, but again, he is still maybe bothered a little bit by his ankle, so not much of a surprise here. We haven't seen a whole lot of goalies rush out to play the ball as of yet this season by anybody, let alone the Owen Sound guys. Gonna have to fire here. That ball a little bit wide there, and they're gonna call a shot clock against Aylin Brown and the North Stars. Quickly up the floor comes Carter Coffey. Coffey trying to get around Moran. He'll wait up for Brindley Wilson now, who will have a chance to set himself back up, trying to get the pick from Detweiler. He does kind of get a switch there on Calvin Stewart. Passed over there to Nate Renault. Renault makes a dash for it. Renault shot that one wide, and made a little bit of contact there with Sanderson. Didn't touch the net matter with the shot though, so about 5 seconds left here. As Wilson gonna try to take it on his own. He's got 3 to work. Wilson's gonna have to fire here from wide out, and that's well wide, and that will be a shot clock violation against the Elora Mohawks. Good defense there by the North Stars. We saw some of that in their game against Cambridge. They played some pretty good defense, allowing only 1 goal in the first period against Cambridge. The Highlanders played into the middle. That ball just missed a sprawling Cochran. That ball still loose, and Laycock will retrieve it for the second. Ball scoots out. It's picked up by Morrison. Gonna have to kind of move quick though. They only got 10 seconds left to work here. That ball fired from well out. That ball got blocked, but it hurt his target. That ball shot wide.
Hutchins got to fire, Hutchinson couldn't, and quickly off there, that ball hit looked like the thigh of Ryan McDougall, who goes off in a heap. As down's gonna go, Evan McDougall. The other McDougall brother, the offensive McDougall brother, as that ball is now retrieved by Brindley Wilson, and he'll make a dash for it. Brindley Wilson towards the net. Brindley Wilson taken by two different orange shirts, played up top. Hunsberger shot, that one wide, retrieved, oh, it goes! And who's gonna get the credit? It looks like they're gonna give the credit to Cole Hunsberger, and somehow Elora's up by 2. I'm not exactly sure how that one made its way through Nick Sanderson, if it was Karam off the boards or if it hit him and then off the poster, some description, but I know Mark Perry is going to show me a replay that hopefully will give me a better look at. You see there, yeah, off the boards, and it looked like it went right off Nick Sanderson trying to slide back, as that faceoff is won by Elliot Thompson. Pardon me, Elliot Thompson is back for the first time I've seen here at home, so Elliot Thompson's home debut, and he wins his, I believe that's his second faceoff win of the night. So it's nice to see him back again with a struggling face-off team there in Owen Sound without Elliot Thompson without Elliot Thompson in the lineup. Taylor Brown now gives it off to Tyson Morrison. Morrison can look for a pick. He'll get it from Holden Stevenson. Morrison fires over. Laycock fakes. Laycock can have to fire here with a couple seconds, and he misses, and that's going to be a free possession back to the Mohawks. Not much going offensively yet for the North Stars. Quickly up the floor they come. Keegan Detweiler. Detweiler hands it off. I still haven't seen J.J. Levine yet. Whereas Renault looking for an option, he'll give it off. Now to Connor Wilmetz. Wilmetz down for Hunsberger. Shot scores! Cole Hunsberger makes it a pair early, and it's 3-0 Elora. They're going to give a water break there to Nick Sanderson and Sam Forbes here early with about 5 minutes gone in this first period. Already 3-0 in favor of the away side. And man, do I wish Steve McCarthy wasn't stuck in Highway 10 traffic. I got to envy poor Steve, who I know will be making an appearance later in this broadcast. But I've made that, depending on where you are in the GTA, 2.5 to 3 hour drive. That's without traffic, so with traffic it can be a heck of a lot longer. That ball is popped out, and it's run back there by Elliot Thompson. Again, great to see Elliot back in the lineup for the North Stars, but they do lose possession of it after they won the faceoff. Marina was able to get possession back, and now a quick switch here by them, and now J.J. Levine will touch the ball for the first time I've seen tonight. Number 3 there, J.J. Levine, who was second in the team in scoring last year, is 4th this year. Hunsberger, who's got a pair already. Off to Wilson. Wilson trying to get the screen. Wilson looking for an option. He passes it, misses everybody, including his intended target, Evan McDougall. Hops into the bench, it'll be Owen Sound possession. Owens might have a chance to capitalize here. They do with a late change. Morrison, 2-on-1. Morrison in, scores! Tyson Morrison makes it 3-1. Early marker there for Owen Sound. They finally get themselves on the forward, finally stop the bleeding, and what a pretty one there for number 91. His 14th of the season, putting him in sole possession of 3rd on the team in goals. Just ahead now of Nate Laycock. You see there, thought about passing it, saw the defender taking the pass away, and just said, you know what, roll out the red carpet, I'm going right at Sam Forbes. He's able to cash it in. If that faceoff is lost, that faceoff taken by Talon Brown, who did have some success later in the game against Point Edward in the last home game we saw here for the North Stars. As now Elora come back down the other way after the faceoff. That ball played across the top. Back for Wilson. Wilson gets corralled by 3 different orange shirts as he tries to find a new option. Pass, just got around the defender. What a pass, scores! Elora with the quick passing. That's Hunsberger's 3rd, and it's 4-1. Quick response by Elora to make it back to a 3-goal lead. And what a passing play. Immediately Hunsberger pointed, and I believe that was that Ryan McDougall with the pass. That face-off again now is won by Elliot Thompson. We'll try to get a replay of that last goal in a minute here as Tyson Morrison takes a run. Morrison this time thought better of it, and he saw a couple guys in front of him as he passes off to Logan Claggs. Claggs plays it off.
to Holden Stevenson. Stevenson gives it off there to Calvin Stewart. Now playing a little bit of offense as a transition player. Don't see Moran on the floor right about now. Morrison hands it off. Laycock fires for Stewart. Stewart couldn't handle the heat as that ball's going to scoot away as Morrison will pick it up. Gonna have to just fire it, and he will as the shot clock will go off.
Again, Elora has scored, trying to do quick math here, I think that's 48 goals in their last 2 games. I would be right, 27 plus 21 in their last 2 games, so 48 goals in their last 2 games. So this high-powered offense is looking to continue that here tonight. That ball goes wide. That second one saved by the net of Nick Sanderson. Sanderson goes to fire it in transition, trying to get it there to Moran. That ball bouncing, and Moran retrieves it. Good job there by Moran to stick with it and get possession in the offensive zone, but now he's got to wait for all the other guys to make it onto the floor. Cochran takes a bump, trying to get around, gives it down to Moran. Moran fires into the middle. Laycock there. Laycock shot. That one's saved by Forbes and trapped in the restricted area. And now quickly up the floor come Elora. Again, they like to run. Hand it off to Brindley Wilson. Wilson gives it off as now Elora will get a chance to fire. Wilson, nice pass into the middle. That shot saved, and down is a Owen Sound player right on top of him, and it looks like an awkward twist for Calvin Stewart, who is one of the main defenders / transition players. He's listed as transition, plays a lot of defense for this North Star team as he quickly goes off. One of the A's for Owen Sound. Obviously just kind of twisted awkwardly as the Elora player made the mad dash. We'll have another face-off here with 12:02 left in this first period. You'll see right there, Calvin Stewart kind of got collided there low, and you see he immediately rolls on top of Evan McDougall, who had nowhere to go once Calvin Stewart rolled up on top. And they're going to call a possession quickly there on that face-off in favor of Elora. So quickly will back out come the starters there for the offense, and now Keegan Detweiler gives it off to Owen Moore, who's got, I believe he's top 5 in points for this Elora team. And again, that's over 50. Moore makes a dash. Moore got, I think, to stick check. That shot late in the, off the deflection there, and that one was taken by Connor Wilmets. Moran will make a run as he is a transition player, so he can play some defense when needed. Can Carter Moran, the captain. That ball gonna look like it fired back. No, it doesn't. He just lost it in the end, and it's taken back now by the Mohawks. Quickly up the floor they come in for J.J. Levine. Levine looking to fire. Levine gets stick tied and bumped, so Levine's gonna have to retreat, waiting for an option to come off the bench. Finally gets it, and he finally gets rid of it, but it goes right towards the Owen Sound bench. Ball bobbled there by Wilmets. Wilmets will get it away. As Pryor was the one playing a little bit of harassment there, as that ball was fired on target by Brindley Wilson, but not much. That ball fired well wide there of West Grant. And Grant be the first one there as Brindley Wilson will bump him, and taken away there by Elora. Quickly up the floor will come Landon Kreisco. Kreisco will hand it off, as now Owen Moore will have a chance to fire. Giving off there to Detweiler. Detweiler gives it off there to Wilmets. Wilmets looking down low, bump. That ball got shot and blocked, chopped down, and retrieved. That ball gets fired right into the restricted area, I think, and it is, in the end, by Nick Sanderson, who's looking to make a move here. They'll now just hand it off to Elliot Thompson, who's standing right in front of him, as Thompson will take a screen from Stewart, who does not look any worse for wear. Thompson, who is another one of the transition players for this North Stars team, taking a bump, taking a look as he gives it off to Stewart. Stewart takes the screen from that look to be Cochran's. That's a fan there by Laycock, and all alone goes Carter Cuffey. Cuffey in, scores! Carter Cuffey makes it 5-1. Laycock let it just skip off his stick, and away went Carter Cuffey with nobody close. That's Coffey's 6th goal of the season, 10th point of the season for the transition player, and it gives Elora the 4-goal lead that has not been in their grasp just yet, and they've now extended that lead a little bit farther from the North Stars. They really need to find a way to stop the bleeding, and I'll say permanently. That faceoff is won by Talon Brown. It down. Took the bait to look at quick dash there as look down, handed off. Morrison gives it off there to West Grant. It looks like a little
A little bit of a pushing match there with Cole Hutchinson and one of the Elora defenders, though, on the other side. Takes a Morrison shot. That ball just skipped by Wes Grant. As now Rubik will hand it away. That ball for Keegan Detweiler. Detweiler making a run for it. Had a chance to shoot, gives it off. Trying to get that ball through. That ball skips now through as it ended up being rolled by Owen Moore. Moore up top for JJ Levine. Hands it over, but an illegal pick will give the ball to Owen Sound. Quickly up the floor they come. That's Nolan Gerard who will decide better of it and hand it off. Stop up there by Cole Hutchinson. Hutchinson making a dash for it. Actually, pardon me, and Cochran now fires, and that one saved by Forbes. That ball might bounce like a hard hop, and it was out of play, but deflected by Forbes, so possession will go to Owen Sound with a fresh shot clock. Cochran gives it off to Moran. Moran methodically thinking about his options, passes in the middle, nobody home as Hutchinson got tied up, and it's not gonna go, and they're gonna call it in favor of Owen Sound. So another fresh shot clock here for their orange shirts. That ball fired, Moran scores! Carter Moran gets Owen Sound back on the board. Quick pass there, almost eerily similar to Hunsberger's third goal, I believe, as Moran just beat a sprawling Forbes. Again, a couple different possession changes in favor of Owen Sound, give them that opportunity. See that? What a pass by Owen Sound. And that pass looked to be made. Actually didn't see the number exactly, so I can't exactly remember. But a great pass nevertheless. And now quickly again comes Carter Coffey. Carter Coffey in! Great save, I believe, by Nick Sanderson. I can't tell if it hit him or the post, but regardless, it stays out. As now Talon Brown will wait. Off for Moran, almost a hot pass, but Moran's able to retrieve it. Moran's got 18 to work. Hands it off, spinning, firing. That ball is saved, and it was by Zach Lemon. I thought it was Lemon who made the pass, but I haven't exactly seen number 14 as of yet. Now I do, so I can confidently say it was Lemon to Moran on that second goal for Owen Sound to bring the lead back within 3, as Wilson will now run up the floor. Wilson around, Wilson! Saved by Sanderson, does it go? It does not, it just stuck away wide, as now Clags will make his way up the floor. Clags. As Clags gives it off, now Hutchinson will make a dash for it. Hutchinson fires that ball well wide. It might skip out of play, and it does. Caught by one of the Elora players who's currently undressed. Looks like one of the other goalies on the team. Actually looks like the backup goalie tonight there in Carter Billings, who caught that one. That ball passed off, that shot well wide. Retrieved almost by Levine, as the ball will now go the other way for Owen Sound, is stopped up there by Wes Grant. Moran. Lemon now. Trying to make a dash for it, he'll take a bump. He hands it off to Morrison. Morrison look to fire, he'll now stop up, look back for Laycock. Laycock open, Laycock fires, and saved by Forbes. Again, former Owen Sound North Stars netminder, didn't get a lot of time from what I remember in, I believe it was at least 2 years ago. Now he's playing for the Elora club and has been really good the last 2 years for him. He's a part of last year's team that ended 17-3, second in the Junior B division, only behind the undefeated Six Nations Rebels. That pass in front, that ball whacked off the stick there of Connor Wilmets. That ball passed off, that shot saved there by Sanderson, ball bouncing around. Who will be able to retrieve it? Ball now down. Shot clock was reset, as now everybody's getting bumped around by Connor Wilmets. That ball's still loose, whistle's gonna go, and then extra shot there as meeting was Elliot Thompson. As we now would like to thank Pizza Hut for tonight's crew refreshments. You can visit them at 669 10th Street West here in Owen Sound. Call them at 519-371-5660. They're on Skip. You can see the website there. You'd like to help them because they help us. And I know the crew enjoyed the pizza before the game commenced. That ball was caught by Sanderson. Off of, I believe, the Keegan Detweiler shot. That ball fired almost over Jackson Ray, but was able to retrieve it in the end with about 6 to go here in period number 1. Up the floor it comes, as almost mishandled by Hutchinson. It was mishandled by Hutchinson. Will it cost them? It may. Good job though by Gardner Batok to get out fast enough to not give up the free chance there to Brock Redwood. Redwood now gives it off
to looks like Verbeek. Verbeek on that trying to find an option to get off the floor, you'd think, but Verbeek's gonna stay. Verbeek around, Verbeek! That ball, I believe, got hit by, it looked like a netminder, and it will stay as the possession will stay with Elora off of the whistle, and now Verbeek will go. Levine. Off for Owen Moore, back for JJ Levine. Levine gonna get the screen. Levine passes it off, that shot saved by Sanderson, and that was a good attempt there by Moore. But a fresh shot clock to boot there for the Black Shirts. Played off the top, Levine. Renault. And around the top, that time it is Levine. Levine trying to fire. That ball tipped away. That's now Evan McDougall. McDougall making his way around. Levine fires. That one saved by Sanderson right at the end of the shot clock. Gardner Patak hits it into the corner. He may be the only one who knows where it is, him and Levine. As that ball bounces up, but it is retrieved. Hunsberger, who's got 3, loses it, and Sanderson will retrieve it and hand it off to Ethan Kerr. Kerr looking for an option. He'll now just may have to go. He's gonna have to try to look for Moran. He's still getting harassed, so he's gonna have to get rid of this soon, and he will now to Moran, but now he's gonna have a guy on him. Stevenson, Holden Stevenson fires. Laycock almost has handled it again, does retrieve it, however. Morrison looking to fire. That one saved high by Forbes. Ryan McDougall now will go the other way. That ball fired, hit Moran as it tried to make its way to Keegan Detweiler. Detweiler will retrieve it, and he'll give it off to Wilson. Detweiler. We'll get the screen from Brindley Wilson. Detweiler. Gives it off there to Nate Renault. Renault shot, that ball saved by Sanderson. Sanderson's really played his way into this first period. Tie up, and a whistle's gonna go here. As it looks like Brindley Wilson and Calvin Stewart got tied up. Not exactly sure what happened there, but possession will go to Owen Sound. As now Logan Cleggs will have possession. Cleggs will fake the handoff, did not fool Brock Wedwood one bit as Laycock again kind of mishandling it there, but now he make his run for it. Off for Talon Brown. Give it off to Hutchinson. Looking to fire there with, I believe that's Cochran. It is Jordan Cochran. Cochran, nice move. Cochran! Great save there by Forbes. That ball took a real knuckling spin there, but now away will come Elora. Flying up the floor is his numerical counterpart, Terrence Barina. As Barina will hand it off. Detweiler. Gives it off there to Evan McDougall. Detweiler quickly in. Levine shot. That ball saved by Sanderson. Great save there to keep his eye on the ball as Levine was streaking in. Pryor went to fire. He decided better of it and gives it off to Moran with under 3 to go here in this first frame. 5-2 in favor of the Mohawks. Goal scoring has kind of dried up since the second marker for Owen Sound. That ball played in the middle. Laycock was there, but a couple Black Shirts were there also. Quickly up the floor, they're going to come. That ball fired well to in front of the intended target, Landon Kreisco, and has now a quick move there as away is going to go Wes Grant. Wes Grant's going to turn on the Jets. Up for Moran. Moran looking maybe to fire here. Moran's going to fire low, and that one's saved by, that looked to be Forbes. Right into the net there, right into that net pocket. Quickly up from Brindley Wilson now again. Wilson takes it away, trying to find the roller there in Detweiler. That ball bounces right out of the stick of Hunsberger, and away is going to go Owen Pryor. Pryor's got a guy with him. It looks to be Calder Adams. Pryor shot, that ball saved. Rebound misses every orange shirt, and back again will go Elora. Coffey will just hand it off. As now Trey Verbeek will wait. He hands it off to Owen Moore. Moore takes the bump from McDougall. He'll fire it off to Levine, JJ Levine. He gives it off to Nate Renault. Renault looking to fire. No, I believe save, rebound. Does it go? I thought that looked pretty easy there for Owen Moore, but I think he just missed the net there. I think he had an opening there against Nate Sanderson as he tried to move across. Head across the top now is Wilmetz. Connor Wilmetz fires. That one saved by Sanderson. Bounced around and picked back up by Evan McDougall. 1:20 left now in this first period. Fresh 30 here for the Black Shirts. As Owen Moore gives it off. That shot right into the padding and save there by Sanderson. That one on JJ Levine. As up the floor they will come, and Elliot Thompson will hand it off now to Holden Stevenson. Stevenson didn't look there for a second, but Morrison did end up making the catch. Zach Lemon fake. Lemon shot. That ball just wide. Did it touch? I don't think so. The ref agreed with me, and Owen Tavel will go the other way. Tavel in, scores! And with 44 just about seconds left here in the first period, back to a 4-goal lead will go Elora as Owen Tavel will get the marker. His 4th of the year for the defender. Just made his way around Zach Lemon. They will defeat Nick Sanders, who looked really good in the latter stages of this first period. Face up tied and won by Elora again. Elora, nice pick there by Wilson, making a dash for it. Detweiler just over the shoulder of Sanders, and that ball's going to skip all the way down to Forbes. Can he clear it? Looks like he's going to have to. He's going to have to fire it, and he does. Last possession, you'd think here for Owen Sound, as they're going to wait, and it will be a timeout taken by Owen Sound with about 10.7 seconds left in this first frame. So with 10.7 left here in the first period, as Nick Sanderson will make his way to the bench, and he assume will get pulled, as Owen Sound will go 6-on-5 for what you'd hope is the last possession of this first frame. Forbes has been as advertised. I think this Mohawk team has been as advertised, and it has been a pretty good game from my perspective. Owen Sound has had their moments, but this Elora team has got a lot of offensive skill, a lot of offensive firepower, and Cole Hunsberger's first period hat trick has propelled his team to a 6-2 lead. And I'll be honest, I'm still waiting for the guy I interviewed in the leading point getter in all of the Junior B division, Brinley Wilson, to get himself on the goal sheet. I know he's on the score sheet, but I'd like to see him on the goal sheet here as Moran will start with it. It will be 6-on-5. Morrison, Moran in. Laycock tried to one-time it. It's a little high. Can they fire? They do, but it's blocked by Morrison, and that will be the period. 6-2 after one. Almost a golden opportunity there for Laycock, who just couldn't net that pass. And the OA side will come out 4-goal leaders after 20. 4-game heater for one of the best teams in the Junior B division this year as they look to make it 5 in a row, while Owen Sound look to get themselves back in the win column after a loss at Cambridge. Again, this game against Elora will start a 7-game homestand here at the Bayshore. They've got a lot of games and a lot of days. They got tonight against Elora, then they host Windsor, they host London, they host Six Nations, they also again host Walvisburg, Guelph, and then end with Hamilton as they get ready for the playoff season going into the end of June. But the games don't get any easier as you go down the stretch, but at least they're all at home, so you'd hope that some consistency, especially at home, could be a recipe for success for this North Stars team. Well, I won't hold you any longer. We'll take a quick break, come back with myself. Come back to myself, as I believe I'll be talking to the Owen Sound Nate Laycock in the first period. Stay tuned.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Are you low on food? overwhelmed by life's challenges? When you need support but don't know where to turn, just dial 211. 211 connects you to the programs or services near you.
211, how can I help you?
211. Help starts here.
You're watching Rogers TV.
Welcome back here in the first intermission. Spencer Byers alongside Brindley Wilson of the Elora Mohawks. Brindley, you've had a fantastic season so far. I checked the stat sheet. You had 105 points last year in the Junior B. You're already at 104, so you're going to eclipse the 105 you had last year pretty easily, and you're going to surpass it by, seems like, a wide margin. What has it been like this season for you to continue what you did in your rookie season?
Just all my teammates, pretty much. I can't do anything with my teammates, so just all of them.
Well, in fairness to you, you still have a bunch of guys from last year. Seeing Keegan Detweiler's right there, AJ Levine is right there with you. So, as you mentioned, it's been a team effort. You guys were third last year in the Junior B division. Your playoff run didn't go the way you wanted. Obviously, you guys are back here with a lot of the same core. So, guys coming back for revenge at this year's Junior B season.
Yeah, exactly. Just trying to build off last year and try and make it the ultimate goal of the end there. So, just trying to build off last year.
We have Sam Forbes as well from last year's team. He's a former Owen Sound North Star. What is it like having him in the cage for you guys?
He's just been a rock all year. He makes big saves when we need him, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, lastly here for you, Brindley, you guys come against an Owen Sound team that's kind of middling, 500-ish area, but, you know, your division's probably the hardest when you look at the 4 teams in it. Everybody's 500 or better, including you guys at the top of the division. You know, what do you feel like you guys need to do tonight to be able to get a result against Owen Sound here at the Bayshore?
Just play our game and stick to it and hopefully come out with a W.
All right, thank you, Brindley Wilson of the Elora Mohawks. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with myself and I hope Steve after this.
October 5th, 2014, my daughter was hit by a train. She was walking along the sides of the tracks, and it shattered her world.
I'm Mayor Ian Body. If you want to understand the decisions being made about your community, please join us in Rogers TV Cable 53 on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. or online at rogerstv.com to watch the Owen Sound City Council. You can also read our agendas and reports or watch replays of meetings at owensound.ca. We hope you'll stay informed and we hope you'll tune in. Thanks.
Here are 3 reasons why your social strategies should include Rogers TV. Reason number 1 is we have hyper-local audiences. The community TV channel gives you a chance to engage with people where you live, so you really get to know your neighbors and they get to know you. Reason number 2 is we can help diversify your distribution. With social media, it's really important to be able to have a wider audience, and Rogers TV can actually help complement your online presence by delivering to a different audience. And it's actually really easy to repurpose your existing content or to just create new material specifically tailored for community TV. And finally, reason number 3 is we can help enhance your credibility and your trust. And by aligning your brand with Rogers TV, you can tap into that trust that viewers have. This can boost your reputation, especially among viewers who favor local businesses and value community involvement. 1, 2, 3. It's that easy to build your local audience with Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm David Sherman, host of Politically Speaking. Politically Speaking is interviews with your politicians on Rogers TV. 7 o'clock, Thursday evening. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
Well,
Well, my prayers weren't answered, and Steve is not here yet, as he's still stuck on the Highway 10/410, depending on what side he's on. So hopefully Steve will make an appearance here tonight, but if he doesn't, he's missing out on quite a good game here between the Elora Mohawks and the Owen Sound North Stars. 6-2 in favor of Elora currently in the first intermission. We're going to take another look at the leading point getters of all of the Junior B division. Brindley Wilson of the Elora Mohawks currently leading the way. And actually, as I get the quick word from the great Mark Perry, looks like he'll be here for the second period, and Steve has just walked into the building, so fashionably late as Steve would like to be. So Brindley Wilson, as I was saying, is the leading point getter by 18 points right now in the Junior B division, 50 goals, and I believe it's 54 assists for 104 points on the season, 18 above Jaden Patterson of the St. Catharines Athletics. You also see there Keegan Detweiler, third in the league. Owen McDougall, that looks to be fifth in the league. You also see down there at the bottom, Carter Moran is on the list. A couple of guys just off the list there for Elora are Owen Moore as well as JJ Levine. So a lot of points on this Elora team, as we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with the second period between the Owen Sound North Stars and the Elora Mohawks here on Rogers TV.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
It's been a long time coming.
You don't win it to keep it, you win it to be a part of its history.
Always knew.
Always hard to see the difference between winning and losing.
The quest for the hardest trophy to win in sports.
Since I retired, I've been struggling with loneliness. Some days it feels like the walls are closing in. But with your prayers, I don't feel alone anymore. You were there for me in the middle of the night when no one else was around.
Welcome back here to the Bayshore. 6-2 in favor of the Elora Mohawks against the Owen Sound North Stars. We get ready for the second period between these two sides here in Junior B Lacrosse in the OLA. Spencer Byers alongside me, finally. Steve McCarthy, welcome in, Steve. Happy to have you here as these two teams now race into the Owen Sound end. Nick Sanderson back in the cage for Owen Sound after allowing those 6, but did have a nice dry spell there near the end of the first, but then a late one by Elora gets us this 6-2 margin. Laycock off for Morrison. Morrison, who's got one already. Nice spin there off the Laycock pick, plays it off for Moran. Moran shot scores! Moran with a pair! It's 6-3.
Yeah, that was real nice work off ball, and Carter Moran found his soft spot where he likes to shoot from, and just a simple skip pass through the zone, and Carter had lots of time and space, didn't get challenged at all, and looked good there to get them right back in this.
Elora scored about 50 seconds into the first period. Owen Sound scores about 30 seconds into the second period, so seems like maybe the tide could be turning in the orange favor. Another face-off win, Elliot Thompson back in the lineup. Big ad for Owen Sound, especially in the face-off dot, as now Laycock will spin away. Laycock taking a bump, he'll now pass it off. Callum Brown fires, that ball just misses, and now it skips away
from Cole Hutchinson as flying down the court will go Carter Coffey. Coffey looking to pass it now, will for Brindley Wilson. Again, the leading point getter in all of the OLA by 18 points. The only guy at a century right now. That ball passed in the middle. That ball just over the net there for Owen Moore. Now quickly will come Gardner Patak. Marcus trying to fight through his check, and he'll lose it in the end to Landon Krysko. Krysko's going to get taken down. That ball's going to get ripped from him, and it's going to be a call there for a cross check.
That's a tough call. Yeah, that's you know, I don't know what the player could do when the ball carrier starts falling and in the midst of a check. It wasn't like it was an intentional cross check up high, but nonetheless, Mr. Coulter has assessed the deuce.
So Morrison will sit for 2 or less here. The first power play of the game will go in favor of this potent Elora team. I think they have 64 power play goals on the year, as they have been dangerous with all their offensive weapons. Wilson fires. That ball saved by Sanderson. They're trying to go low on Sanderson. He's looked pretty good. The home run pass off of the net here at the Bayshore. So a quick possession change back in favor of Elora, as Moran will have to race back on defense. Levine, Wilson, Detweiler, Wilson, Levine. Levine is going to fire it. Levine shot. That ball saved by Sanderson, and they're going to call possession in favor of Owen Sound. Stewart forward for Wes Grant, and Grant will now make his way down the floor. Grant's going to have to get it away, you think. Has to get it over, though. 10-second rule. He does get it over to Laycock. But 8 seconds into that shot clock, so he had about 2 to work as Laycock will get tied up there against the boards. 2-on-1 in favor of Elora. Laycock is holding it up. Good job there by Laycock. He's already chewed about 20 seconds. He's got 8 more seconds up the shot clock. He's taking a beating there in that corner. The ball finally comes loose and taken there by DeVell.
Yeah, it's a good individual effort by Laycock to kill, but that's where Owen Sound has really suffered on the man down, not getting 4 guys up into the zone to move that ball around, so to eat that clock away. So that's pretty wearing on an individual to try to take that upon himself.
And now Levine will shoot again. That ball saved by Sanders. I'm not sure if it touched the roof or not, but it stays in play regardless. That ball played back for J.J. Levine for Brindley Wilson. Levine. That ball missed both Detweiler and Wilson. Not sure if either thought they were going to catch it as Detweiler will now spin for a 5-on-3 opportunity now. Levine, Wilson scores! Brindley Wilson gets his first of the night and makes it 7-3 with the power play marker.
Well, again, that was a tough penalty assessed to 91 Morrison in the defense on the transition, but you know, like most good teams, you can't afford to give a team like Elora opportunities on the power play. They just have too many lethal weapons.
Seems like they played a couple of teams, Steve, that have been lethal on the power play. St. Catharines is one. I believe Cambridge is also pretty good on the power play as well.
Yeah, they really give a chance for those skilled guys to shine when you give the 5-on-4s and the 4-on-3s.
Now Laycock gets the pick. Laycock fires for Moran. Moran again going to come around that shot right into Forbes, who will make the save. As Tavel will play it forward, and now it'll be Owen Williams. Makes a run up the floor. Williams stops up and will hand it off as now Connor Wilmetz. Wilson down for Moore. Moore in the middle and took a quick bump there as he went to fire. It was Wilmetz, but back possession go Elora. That ball skips out of the stick of Nate Renault. That ball bumped, tossed, turned, whacked, and given to Owen Sound as, again, that ball comes loose. That ball still loose, and ooh, a big hit there by Krysko right on, it looked to be Gardner Patak.
Yeah, that was a bit of a, suicide mission there for Patak. He wasn't really looking for that loosey as it popped out of his teammate's stick, and he ran into a freight train.
And that shot right off the shoulder of Forbes. Morrison picked it back up, though, but now taken away as Elora will make the run for it. Verbeek gave it off, and now it'll be Doherty who will give it away. Wilson down low for, that looks to be Verbeek. Verbeek gives it back off Detweiler for Levine. Wilson gets the screen. That would be Hunsberger, who's got 3. That shot low, blocked, and it will scoop all the way back into the Elora bench. No, it doesn't in the end. It'll be retrieved there by Owen Sound. Quickly up the floor comes Wes Grant. Grant 2-on-1. Grant's not about passing. Grant will fire, and it's going to be a call as a high stick will go against Cole Hunsberger, who caught Moran as Moran went to basically set, like I'll say, a seal screen there as Hunsberger caught him up high. 5 minutes gone here in the second frame. Pretty obvious one there, you'd say, Steve, as he caught him right in the face mask.
Yeah, there was no disguising that one yet.
As now we'll get ready here to go as Jordan Cochran will get a chance to start off the Owen Sound man advantage. Cochran, Laycock, Cochran, Moran, Cochran, Laycock fires through some legs, but saved by the netminder Forbes and retrieved there by Ryan McDougall. McDougall quickly up the floor as Owen Tavel will make a free run. That ball saved by Sanderson. Gardner Patak now will make a run for it. He'll give it off there to Logan Clags. Clags will make his walk through the neutral zone. Quickly up for Moran. Moran will wait for some more offensive options as Cochran. Laycock. Cochran. Moran fires. That ball saved by Forbes. Quickly dumped though. Went the Elora player. That was Ryan McDougall in the end, but quickly up the floor, go the other way. Detweiler, great save by Sanderson. Quickly in transition, go Elora. They only have, I think, 5 shorthanded goals, which did surprise me, Steve, because of all the offensive weapons, but it doesn't look like a team with 5 shorthanded goals yet.
No, and again, Owen Sound, as the back defender, you have to watch the player coming out of the box. I mean, they were turned, had their back to him. He had a clear lane, and they didn't recognize he was going to the net and had a grade A scoring chance. And again, bad enough giving up power play goals against this club, but you certainly don't want to be giving up shorties.
That ball bouncing over. Shot clock violation will go as now picked up by, that looked to be Elliot Thompson. Thompson will fire it down as now Moran waits for his cohorts to all get on the floor, and here we go again. Without one possession left in this power play, you'd think, depending on how this shot goes. Moran back for Cochran. That shot whistled low and out of play, I think. No, it hits off the glass as Moran's gonna have to race for it. He's got 10 seconds here to work. Make that about 5 seconds here to work. He's gonna just have to fire it, I think. And he will. That ball's fired through a lot of hands. It's saved by Forbes, so Morrison will get a chance to retrieve it. Morrison taking a couple whacks. Morrison goes behind the net. He'll get held up as McDougall will end probably the power play, and he will. But possession will go to Owen Sound. Good job there by Morrison to retrieve the Moran heave. Laycock off there for Morrison. Morrison tried to get it down low for Moran. That ball bouncing and taken, and away it will go for Kreisco. Kreisco with a red carpet run. Kreisco wide of the net. I believe it was a stick check by Owen Pryor late that got him away from the net. That ball quickly fired up again. Moran cuts it, or Clags. That shot saved by Forbes. Both these teams want to run, it seems like, as Tovel will go the other way. Quickly passed around. That shot low, saved by Sanderson again, just on the Verbeek shot.
Yeah, that almost found a way just under his stick, but he was able to shut that door just in time.
Stewart making his way up the floor, just got its way to Holden Stevens. A nice pass in front. That ball skips out of his stick though, and it's retrieved just by Talon Brown. Skipped into the stick, I think, of Zach Lemon. That shot by Moran, that ball off the post and saved as well by Forbes. Holden Stevenson gives it off to Lemon. Zach Lemon fires again for Moran. Moran shot, that ball into the net there of Forbes. That ball is just lifted safely into the hands of Ryan McDougall. One of the 2 McDougall brothers on this Elora team, and both of them are potent. As given off to Connor Wilmetz. Wilmetz passed around to Brindley Wilson. Played off to the top. That ball saved by Sanderson. Ball kind of bouncing, and retrieved by Sanderson as a converging of both teams will let that ball roll into the netminder. Grant now trying to look for an option, and I'll give it off. Tyson Morrison. Laycock for Moran. Moran fires. Good save there by Forbes. Moran tries to retrieve it. It's 2-on-1 though. And we're going to see which possession, which way it goes, and it's going to go Elora's way. But took a beating. There was Owen Tovel as he tried to get that ball away. He did in the end. As Carter Coffey gives it off to that looked to be J.J. Levine. Levine takes the screen from another Mohawk as that ball was just skipped through the stick of Cole Hunsberger. Giving off to the top, that shot from a mile away, saved off the hand there of Nick Sanderson. Thought about heaving it, but decides better of it and gives it off to Owen Pryor, who will move it to Grant. Wes Grant will give it off now. That ball skips through Cochran into the bench.
Again, just the transition problems continue to plague the North Stars, game in and game out. They just really need to clean that up. You don't want to give away offensive possessions and turnovers, this close to your defensive zone.
That and again to a very potent offensive team in Elora.
Yeah, you certainly want to eliminate their chances, and turning it over with a little pressure against you is not the way to do it.
That ball taken away by Elliot Thompson off of Hunsberger's stick as now Stewart will take it in transition. Stewart waiting, he'll now fire it there for Moran. Moran gonna wait for his line to show up, and now Stevenson. Fired over for Laycock. Laycock fighting for it, bouncing, and caught by Forbes. I didn't get a chance to speak to Nate Laycock before the game. We'll get a chance to see that in between the periods here as we get halfway through the game. 30 minutes gone, 7-3 in favor of Elora. Levine over, that ball right down low, wide open. Great save by Sanderson. Evan McDougall, though, is left wide open in front of Sanderson. You don't want to do that to the fourth leading point getter on this team with 53.
No, that's, again, just a miscommunication on a simple two-man game. A little pick and roll on the Elora side, the two righties, and, they need to clean that up. You certainly can't give great looks like that. Big save, though, by Nick Sanderson.
Played off for Levine. Levine down low. Played into the middle, I thought. No, he takes it, taking the shot. Great save there by Sanderson again. Levine trying to retrieve it. Levine does. And Levine fires it back. I think he thought Wilson was there. Wilson's back on the floor now, so now Levine will have a chance to reset. Moore. Across for Renault. Renault looks, fires that ball wide. Renault tried to retrieve it. He cannot. Can Grant? No, he cannot. Wilson will get a chance to fire. He passes it off. Ball bouncing. Retrieve, scores.
Yeah, again,
Owen Moore capitalizes on the error by Owen Sound.
Yeah, you just want to make sure you have a nose for those loose balls. And again, when you're giving a club like Elora 2 and 3 opportunities on the same possession, it's going to come back to hurt you. And unfortunately, they weren't able to pick up the errant loose ball, and ends up again in the back of the net. So
that's hard for Sanderson too there, Steve, because he's hoping that one of his defenders picks it up, and once it's picked up there by the goal scorer Moore, he's kind of got a wide open lane towards the net.
Yeah, he did. He was, and again, with the two defenders that were up high looking to pick up that loose ball, when they both get beat, we got a 5-on-3 low, and a lot of lane to the net.
As Ray now putting a little bit of pressure on Owen Williams, who will hand it off. Pass in the middle, misses Renault. He gets his stick whacked out of his hands, and away will go Ethan Kerr. Kerr turns the corner. Kerr trying to get away. He's gonna have to turn back now and wait for some offensive options. Played across to a running Cochran. That ball right into the middle there of Forbes, who does make the save.
Yeah, he had a good look there. Again, you don't want to always shoot early in the shot clock, especially when your mates haven't even got out on the floor there to set it up. But Jordan had a great lane there, and could have easily produced a goal.
Detweiler gives it off now to Wilson, scores! Detweiler, Levine, Wilson, it's his second. And I don't know how many apples he's got, but that's goal number 2, which puts him at 106, which means he's now eclipsed his last season total in 20 games. He had 105 points. He's now got at least 106, but I'd say he's got more than that.
And again, he went low glove. I think that's where his first shot went as well, and his first goal, earlier tonight. And he is a sharpshooter. You certainly don't want to give him that kind of time and space.
Possession now to Owen Sound. Tripled up now are the Mohawks on the North Stars. That ball again fired to front of Logan Claggs. That ball bouncing around and taken there by Owen Travell. Travell will make his way through the neutral zone. He'll give it off now to a wide open guy coming off the bench. That ball, great save by Sanderson. Sprawling there to stop a wide open Brock Redwood. Trying to get away now, does Logan Claggs. He does get away. Moran now. Had Cochran with him and now wait. Cole Hutchinson, one of the U17 guys to win the provincials last year. Moran, that shot off the post was saved by Forbes. Who's going to get there first, though? It looks to be Owen Sound, and it will be off the change. Faking it there was Wes Grant, as Grant will now make his way back into the offensive zone. Moran, Cochran. Trying to get it away to Hutchinson, he does. Hutchinson off. Lemon shot, that ball saved by Forbes, bouncing right to Laycock. Laycock does get himself the ball. Hutchinson for Moran. Moran looking to make his way around the top, gives it off to Lemon. Lemon, that shot deflected off of the head there of Verbeek, and the other way it will go.
Yeah, again, that was a very low percentage shot, very high outside on the perimeter, and they just want to be patient. Got to get inside here if you're going to, chop away at this lead. You can't just live on the perimeter.
That ball out as Stewart throws down a Mohawk, and it's going to be a possession change in favor of Mohawks, so a fresh 30. I'd like to thank Pizza Hut for tonight's crew refreshments. You can visit them at 669 10th Street West here in Owen Sound, or call them at 519-371-5660. Also, they're on Skip the Dishes, or as well as you see the website there, big save by Sanderson as Stewart was still tied up there in the bottom of your screen. I know Steve took a couple of pieces as he ran up here to the booth just as the second period was about to begin.
Hot or cold, I'll still mow it down. Certainly good stuff. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we do, as Morrison. Give it out there, Talon Brown. Brown waiting for the next guy to come on. It's Cochran. Cochran takes the bump. Cochran in for Morrison, who also got converged on and lost it. That's going to be a shot clock violation against Owen Sound, and possession will go back to Elora. That's now Ryan McDougall. Gave it out there to Keegan Detweiler. Detweiler down for Wilson. Trying to get it back to Detweiler. Ball bouncing, and retrieved by Wilson. 15 left on the shot clock. Down for Detweiler. Levine. Detweiler fires. That ball saved there by Levine. Kicked up and caught by Sanderson. What a play there by Levine, though, with the feet to kick that one to, you'd think, almost to himself. As now away will come Ethan Kerr. Kerr will fire it for Holden Stevenson. Stevenson can take a little run here. Thinks about it, gives it back off to Cole Hutchinson. Hutchinson back for Stevenson. Stevenson down for Moran. Moran will take a run off the top. Off there for Laycock. Laycock takes a bump. He's got 5 seconds to shoot. Laycock bumps it off his stick, and he'll lose it. Laycock will try to sprawl and take that one away from Landon Crisco, but Crisco didn't let him take it.
Yeah, the Owen Sound offense has really struggled here this second period, so they're going to want to kind of regroup, just take it one possession at a time and try to get some good things happening.
That ball shot wide by Wilson. It's going to go all the way down to Forbes. First real chance they've seen of a missed shot by Elora that's gone all the way back to their netminder. As quickly up the floor they'll come again as Verbeek will just fire it, and it will go on target to Nick Sanderson, and Owen Sound will have the possession, but nobody coming towards Sanderson.
Again, all the defenders all went to the bench with their back to the net, and they weren't there to help out in transition, and Nick Sanderson had to heave it up the floor.
And now Morrison scores! Individual effort for Tyson. Morrison gets his second of the game, and back to now a 5-goal lead in favor of the away side.
And Nick Sanderson will be rewarded with an apple on that long pass. And again, Morrison's he's really been playing well the last few games, and again, rewarded with another multiple goal game, and he's got a nose for the net. And again, got inside there. It wasn't a perimeter shot. Made the effort to beat his man, got inside, and what a nice shot by Sam Forbes.
Not only is it an assist to Nick Sanderson, it's the only assist on the goal. It goes to Nick Sanderson. Quickly back up the floor, though, come Carter Coffey and the Elora Mohawks. That ball missed his intended target, but does stay with the Mohawks as Coffey got dumped regardless.
Yeah, he got Elliot Thompson laid into him pretty good with the shoulder and went right through him.
Levine passed into the middle, again misses the intended target. That ball bounces, gonna have to fire here with 5. Good save by Sanderson, who'll keep it in the restricted area. Ooh, 8. And there's a whistle, and they're gonna give it to Owen Sound. As now Calder Adams will play it forward. Talon Brown takes a bump, gives it off now to, that looked to be Hutchinson. That shot, I believe, touched Forbes. No, it didn't on the re-entry. Is now back up for Morrison. Morrison's gonna look to fire. Nice move by Morrison. That ball just goes wide.
Moran now got 10 seconds to work. That shot saved by Forbes. That ball right into Cochran's stick. Fresh 30 now for Owen Sound. Hodgson, Morrison trying to take a move, but it's going to be malfunction. Again, we saw at the beginning of the game, Steve, which you were not present, that Forbes has having problems with his stick. It wasted about 3 or 4 minutes before the game even started because of some equipment malfunctions there with Forbes, but possession will stay with Owen Sound.
Yeah, ordinarily they wouldn't call it dead because of the stick. I mean, he pulled his mask off. You would think it was only...
That shot scores! It rewards Owen Sound as the hat-trick goal for Moran!
There you go. That hole in his stick must be pretty big. Nice shot by Carter Moran again, right in his sweet spot area. He's pretty deadly from over there. And, you know, again, if you're going to give him a time and space, he's also going to hurt you. So Owen Sound's hanging around here, so if they could just keep it up for 2 minutes in this period, we can make a game of it.
Now Ryan McDougall with possession of it. Again, Owen Sound's put a lot of teams close here. They lost to Cambridge in Cambridge by 3. They beat Cambridge here by 1. So they play teams close here at the Bayshore, and they got 7 games in a row. It's quickly up to come Cleggs. Brindley tried to get off the floor. He couldn't, so Cleggs will make his way through. Brindley trying to bump him. Cleggs in! Great save there by Forbes. As Moran blocks it, right in the restricted area, bounces right back to Forbes as Forbes trying to get a hold of it, and Forbes will get tied up by Moran. He'll fire away. A little bit of a reacquaintance there between the former North Star teammates in Forbes and Moran.
As pass down is now played around by the Mohawks.
Detweiler fires, that ball blocked and skipping to Sanderson. Almost skipped by him, but he has ended up retrieving it in the end. That ball skipped over Kerr. Will be able to get retrieved. It should maybe. There is Jackson Ray, should retrieve it, and he does. As now Stewart.
Again, because of that miscue in transition, we're looking at 14 seconds. We haven't even been able to get offensive guys out onto the floor yet. So, again, they just got to clean up some of that stuff.
Scores! Moran with a fourth! And all of a sudden, Steve, it was 9-3, 3 minutes ago? And now it's 9-6 with 3 straight goals for the North Stars.
Well, again, if Elora isn't going to make adjustments to take that top side away from Carter Moran, he'll just continue to shoot from there. You know, the defender's got to get out, get in the stick lane there, and force him to pull it up. And he's getting a clear lane, and they're just retreating. No pressure on the hand.
That is surprising, Steve, that they are retreating on Carter Moran. You think he'd be one of the guys you key out on.
Yep, you certainly know if you can shut him down, you're going to shut a big portion of the North Star offense down.
Thompson won the faceoffs. Owen Sound now. Laycock. Moran. They have about 2 possessions left here on this clock, so you think if Elora gets possession, they're going to call their timeout and pull their goalie. As Morrison gives it off to Laycock. 15 left to work on the shot clock. Moran fires. That ball's just wide. Can Laycock retrieve it? He cannot. That ball's going to bounce out of play and go in favor of the Mohawks as they flip sides. No, they will not. They will take the timeout, Steve. So with 28 seconds left, this will most likely be the last possession of the period.
And again, with Owen Sound picked that ball up with about 45 seconds. And again, a lot of coaches would prefer them just to go early, get a shot. So in case we get into this last 15, 20 seconds, that they would be in a position then to be able to get possession if they can kill off the 30-second shot and get the opportunity to go 6-on-5 themselves. So it's a lot of merit to trying to get that early shot with 45 seconds to go, and even if it's not a legit scoring opportunity, it just doesn't allow the other team to get possession within that 30-second left in the period where they feel more comfortable bringing the goalie out.
Well, I have a stat, Steve. I'm not going to say till the end of the period, but I have a stat about the goals for Elora. And I will mention it regardless of if they score in the last 30 seconds or not, but I'm going to wait just in case.
All right.
Because I don't like to hear the commentators curse, if you will, because I definitely will jinx them, because I am notorious in the OUA and the OCAA in volleyball for jinxing just about everybody. J.G. Levine will start with it at mid-floor, and again, as you mentioned, Steve, it's 6-on-5, and they're going to chew probably about 15 to 20 seconds off this clock to leave about 10 to work.
Yep, they'll probably start with about 10. Yep.
As there's some fighting there in the right at top of the net there between Brindley Wilson and Gardner Patak. We're at 10 seconds now. Levine's going to wait.
Levine got 8 seconds now. You got to see where the play's going to come from. They got 5 now to work. Up for Brindley Wilson. Wilson fires that ball wide, and you kind of wonder, Steve, what Elora was trying to do there maybe.
Well, I think, it didn't look like they were trying to do much, but then when the ball ends up in the stick of Brindley Wilson just outside the dotted line and no pressure coming at him, he didn't hit his mark, but it did give them they put the ball on the best player in the league stick, the best offensive player anyways, and you would think again that you would really want to isolate Brindley Wilson in that situation. Play 5-on-4 with the rest of the group. Elora's still got a lot of depth, but don't let the leading scorer in the league have the ball in the last 5 seconds.
Not just leading scorer, I should also mention leading goal scorer and leading point getter, so he covers every category.
Yeah.
Now I will mention my stats, Steve, before we go for our intermission, as well as my interview with Nate Laycock before the game. The Elora Mohawks, without scoring 10 goals or more, with 10 goals or less, they are 0-2-1. 2 losses and a tie, scoring under 10 goals. Right now, they're just under that 10-goal mark. They're undefeated once they get over that mark, which again just shows how talented they are offensively.
Yeah.
But it's a good job by the North Stars to not allow them to get really into that offensive mojo, Steve, because again, you look at the last 2 games, they've scored 48 goals in 2 games against Point Edward and Welland, but still, that's a lot of goals.
Yeah, and we saw Point Edward here last weekend, and they gave Owen Sound a real tough go. It went to overtime, and I think Owen Sound ended up winning.
Yep, 15-9.
15-9, but it was obviously 9-9 to get into overtime, so they played that one hard, and to see a team then come back and put up over 20 against them, you know that they have a lot of scoring depth.
That they do. We'll be back with the 3rd period and the 2nd intermission as you get a chance to see myself interviewing Nate Laycock of the Owen Sound North Stars. Stay tuned on Rogers TV.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Get ready for the ultimate sports talk experience. Join us every week for the most in-depth analysis, heated debates, and special guests. We give you action off the ice and off the field with all the drama and all the fun. Don't miss out on the sports talk show that's taking the game to a whole new level. Get your game face on and join us on RTV Sports Wrap.
Sports is life. It's clear cut. Everything's out in the open. There's nowhere to hide. I had to prove myself more than anyone else.
You must be so proud of your son. He's gonna go pro. The sky's the limit.
There's always a winner and a loser.
You cannot reach the sky in broken cleats.
Of course, I always want to be the winner. And I did reach the sky.
Norman Kwok, the first Chinese-Canadian professional football player, still holds records to this day. He retired from the sport in 1960 and later became Lieutenant Governor of Alberta.
Here pre-game, I'm beside Owen Sound North Star Nate Laycock. Nate, you've been one of the many U17 players that won provincials last year to join this Junior B team, and you've been one of the more potent offensive options. You're top 4 on the team in scoring. What has it been like making the transition from the U17 to the Junior B?
You know, I had my first game in my first year U17, so it hasn't been too hard, but it's definitely a little bit of an adapt to like the older players, bigger guys. You know, definitely got to move the ball faster.
Yeah, you mentioned that. You played 2 games last year. You got 2 goals. You're now a full-time player this year, and you played very well. And you're one of the bigger bodies in the team, so obviously crashing the net's a little easier for you than, say, Carter Moran, who's about my size. So what has it been like trying to adapt to that role of having to kind of be that pick guy, that dash the net guy?
You know, you just got to know your role in the team and be able to do it well. It's the only way you're going to play if you just got to know your role.
Now, playing against this Elora Mohawk team, they're very good. You've already played them this year, and they're a very talented team. They're top for a reason in your division, top in the Junior B division for a reason. What do you feel like you guys need to do tonight to be able to get a result against Elora?
You know, they know how to score goals, and I think it's just going to come down to who can work harder. Whoever can get the loose balls and win the defensive battles, that's what's going to determine the outcome of this game.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nate Laycock of the Owen Sound North Stars. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yep, thank you.
We'll be back after this for the rest of the second intermission with me and Steve after this.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Blast you.
The best in the world. His ability is second to none. Dustin Poirier! This is who I am. I'm a fighter at heart. I'll never quit in here. Let's go! What a fight. Fireworks are guaranteed.
Both capable of ending a fight in dramatic fashion.
They will not be able to keep the roof on this place.
We've had such trying days the last few months. Henry's health has taken a turn. Our savings are dwindling. But your prayers, they've been our lifeline. You've given us hope when we had none left.
Hi, I'm David Shearman, host of Politically Speaking. Join me for our next show where my guest will be Ross Kentner, Mayor of Meaford. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
Welcome back here to the Bayshore. Spencer Byers alongside me, Steve McCarthy. And Steve, big second period for Owen Sound in the end. Obviously, they went down as high as 9-3. You know, you kind of felt like the game might be getting away from them, but at the end of the period, 3 quick goals there at the end to send us now only 3 goals difference, making up a goal after 2. They were down 6-2 going into the second. Now they go into the third, only down by 3. So good end of the second, and they need to keep that going into the third.
Yeah, they really need to tighten up on transition. Certainly when they get possession from their goaltender, make sure they have a plan on where they're going with it. They've been a little slow. They don't get the offense on the floor quick enough, and then it results in a lot of perimeter and shortcuts to the offense. You want to be able to move that ball around, have a plan, get some touches, and ultimately get inside. Or find Carter Moran in his sweet spot where he's had lit the lamp, I guess, 4 times tonight, likely all from that spot. But in tightening up on transition both ways, but it eliminates the open opportunities you're giving. You don't want to continuously give Elora more possessions than they deserve.
Yeah, and again, I want to mention, as you said, we were Carter Moran, if you had a shot chart, they probably offer him about the same spot. You're not really moving that shot chart too much with his goals, but I want to mention Nick Sanderson. He also had a great second period. He really played himself into this game. He allowed 4 goals within the first 5 minutes of the first period. Since then, he's been pretty lights out. Obviously, he's conceded a couple, but he's been great. He's a big reason why Owen Sound's only down by 3 going into this third and potentially final period, and he has been spectacular. And again, the ankle maybe still bugging him a little bit. Hasn't rushed out too much to try to play the ball, but even with that ankle, he still looked great.
Yeah, and again, he got beat with a couple real tough shots by Brindley Wilson just under the glove, which is tough for any goalie, especially a taller one that tends to stand up when he plays. But yeah, he makes big saves. He's bailed out his teammates quite a few times when they lost communication down low and a guy sprung loose, and he came up with a big save one-on-one with the shooter.
And you mentioned he gets very vertical because he's so big.
Yeah.
He's a really big goalie. You know, when you see Miles Plater, his tandem, I guess, his battery mate, if you will, not really the same goalie. You know, Miles has probably got 2 or 3 inches less than Nick Sanderson. So it also kind of adds a different dynamic when you're playing against one goalie versus the other, where they're not exactly comparable size-wise.
Yeah, they're both great. They're quality goalies. It's certainly probably the strongest part of this club. They both have, they're both really starters. They certainly both deserve to be, and Nick's been real good ever since he came over from Newmarket, and Miles has been outstanding since he had quite a number of years as a layoff as a goaltender, apparently, and both last year and this year he's been exceptional.
Elliot Thompson versus Terrence Barina as we get ready for this third, potentially final period. Both guys just trying to muscle it there like it's a thumb wrestle there, as again, goal was just won there by...
Outstanding effort by Thompson. He won the draw right to one of his teammates, and they were unable to catch the ball, and it ends up in Elora's possession.
They'll get the first one of this third period. That ball passed off to Detweiler. Keegan Detweiler into the middle. That ball skipping around, and I'm not sure who's going to retrieve it. It is retrieved there in the end by, it looked to be Evan McDougall, but blocked as he fired. Now possession will go to Owen Sound as they'll get their first, hopefully, offensive attempt. Is now skipping away is Grant. He lost the ball as he scun. That ball's fired back into the Elora end.
Again, the transition problems just continue to haunt this team, and not only they're not able to generate any offense once they gain possession, they just turn it right back over to the most potent offense in the league.
That ball played into the corner to Nate Renault. Renault for Moore. Moore's got one tonight. Moore passes off. That shot saved, I believe, by Sanderson. It'll skip into the netting, but it will stay with Elora. These two teams, though, have been real physical off the ball, Steve. We've seen a lot of guys go down off ball. Wilson will shoot. That ball goes wide to Sanderson. They're going to say he touched it again with that sprawling save. You kind of see him lose his balance there. So again, obviously the mobility of Nick Sanderson is still seemingly a little bit of a problem. Not as much as it was, say 2 or 3 weeks ago, but still not exactly 100%. That ball played off the top. J.J. Levine looking to fire. Levine will play it into the middle. It just misses the stick there of Cole Hunsberger, and away will go Calvin Stewart. As there's going to be a minor going against, it looked to be Elora. Chance for Owen Sound now. Moran gives it off. What a pass. Great save by Sam Forbes.
Yeah, the goaltender read that real well. Anticipated Moran dumping it down to the crease. And he was already there in great position to make that save.
As away is going to go Owen Moore for slashing, the first power play of the night, or no, pardon me, second power play of the night for the North Stars. They're 0 for 1 so far tonight. Cochran. Laycock. That'd be Tyson Morrison down low. Cochran. Moran. Pass the parcel there between Cochran and Moran. Giving off to Laycock. It missed him. Morrison does get a hold of it, though. 10 seconds to work now. Moran, that ball skipped over. It's deflected. Moran, that shot right into the arm there of Forbes. And now away will come Elora. Carter Coffey, who's got one tonight. Now getting off to Keegan Detweiler. Detweiler being pressured a little bit there by Ethan Kerr. Gotta be careful though, because Detweiler's got a potent stick. And now tries to get around Ethan Kerr. That ball now scooped out as they tie up, and now away is gonna go Elliot Thompson. As Thompson quickly up the floor. Thompson doesn't look to stop. Thompson gets thrown down. That's gonna be a minor. Moran shot. That ball is wide, and it's now a 5-on-3 in favor of Owen Sound for a full minute and 5 seconds. Well, I suppose a minute and 5 seconds.
Yeah, again, it was, I guess the thought from referee Peter DeBrone is that hit might have been a little late, because it certainly, I don't really see anything egregious about it. I mean, he went for a big spill, but it certainly wasn't an overly aggressive play. And
it will be,
nonetheless, Owen Sound is the benefactor.
And Hutchinson mishandled that one. That ball pops out. Moran will retrieve it as he'll take a couple bumps here. Again, Owen Sound will stick the 4-on-3 and have the 5th guy out in the middle. Oh, pass, goal!
Hutchinson with the quick pass to Laycock, who gets his first. And I can say honestly, this may be Nate Laycock's offensive performance, maybe one of his worst. He's really struggled tonight catching the ball and really struggled offensively. That is a great job. He's had a couple opportunities on the quick pass to fire and just hasn't been connected. That one it is from Hutchinson to Laycock. U17 provincial winner, U17 provincial winner. It's 9-7 with the power play marker.
Well, he put a little bit of magic in that sparkly stick of his, and right at the right time to take advantage of the power play and then bring this to 9-7 score, and they're right in it.
Face-off won, though, by Elora, trying to get away. Will go Owen Williams, as Williams will retreat. Good job by Moran, though, to stick himself in the offensive end, so it's still technically 4-on-3 the other way. As looks like he'll just be happy to chew up the rest of this clock. No, a late run. That's going to be a minor going against Gardner Patak, who can't believe it. It's going to be a trip going against the North Stars defender, so it'll be 4-on-4 for 1 minute and 12 seconds, which you got to say, Steve, if it's 4-on-4, you got to think the skill is in favor of the Black Shirts.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to be giving up that power play when you're got this within two-goal game, and even more unfortunate when you allow a
Wilson scores.
When you off a dead ball call, you leave the leading scorer in the league wide open with nobody on him. So that's again just another breakdown that they gotta communicate better. You know, Nick Sanderson couldn't really hear if he was directing traffic from back there, but as you'll see in the replay, they're doing a lot of talking off ball here, not paying attention. The ball gets blown in, and there's Brindley Wilson, pretty much all alone, and again, low shot under the glove, and restores a 3-goal lead.
Face-off, you'd say, won by Elliot Thompson, but taken immediately away again by Elora, and again it's Owen Williams. Williams making his way around, but loses it as Calvin Stewart and Logan Cleggs converge.
Yeah, nice strip by Calvin Stewart on the hands of, almost knocked the stick right out of his hand, and let's see if Owen Sound can respond now.
Cochran taking a bump. Will play it for Moran. He'll just bump it with his chest. Moran played over for Laycock. Morrison, Moran, Cochran, and Laycock. Moran fires. That ball saved by Forbes. Another one by Moran, saved by Forbes. That ball's bouncing around and taken now by Elora. As Moran was right there, and that you think it's going to be a call, and it is against Moran.
Yeah, that's just, again, I don't know if it's a frustration, the fact that he had 2 golden opportunities and bounced both shots into the chest. But bad penalty to take in transition, a long way from your net.
Wilson fires down low, wide open, right in the middle. What a pass! And that is money for Elora. It's Hunsberger's 4th, assisted from Moore and Wilson.
Yeah, this Elora Mohawks team, they really are skilled up front and a lot of depth, and they can, when you give them these 6-on-5 opportunities, more often than not, they're going to hurt you.
I think I just heard it there, Steve, that the Moran penalty is taken away from the goal.
It is, because there's still the 2.
4-on-4. With 5 seconds left, by the way.
Yep, so we're now going to go to a...
I mean, you could argue, Steve, that's lucky for Owen Sound.
It is, although unless they can do a better job getting possessions off these draws, because they are now going to be a man down for 45 seconds.
Now Ryan McDougall will play it back for Keegan Detweiler. Detweiler will wait, and now you up to Brindley Wilson. Wilson back for Detweiler. Wilson takes a scoot around, will get a chance to fire up ball off the post hot, and it will stay in favor of Elora. Wilson.
Again, he had that bottom corner under the glove label, but just off the post.
J.J. Levine in the middle. Detweiler, out ball saved by Sanderson, as Pryor will take it into the corner. Pryor's got to get rid of it. You'd think it goes towards the net, and they're going to say it over and back.
They're going to say, yeah, call it back in. The ball went from Pryor into the goaltender, and Nick Sanderson picked it up, and that is not allowed.
J.J. Levine gives it off, back for Levine from Hunsberger. Back to 5-on-5 we go. Gardner Patak going to get back in position. That shot right into the chest there of Sanderson, and it's saved. The attempt by Detweiler. As now Stewart will make his way up the floor. That ball tipped, I think, but caught anyway by Clags. Clags will take the screen from Hutchinson. Clags gonna try to get rid of it. He does to Hutchinson. Cole Hutchinson fires, but a minor's gonna go against Elora, and it looks to be against Landon Kreisco. As Kreisco got a little too handsy there with the down North Star, and that looks to be Logan Clags.
Yeah, it's a peculiar whistle, though. Owen Sound did have possession. I'm not sure what the urgency was for the referee to blow that down, unless there was a loose ball that I missed out on. But nonetheless, got Carter Moran back at the top run of the power play, and we'll see if they can't get one back.
Hutchinson, Moran, Laycock again kind of fanned on it. Morrison, Moran. A little past the parcel, gives it up there to Hutchinson. That shot saved by Forbes, and Cochran will retrieve it. Moran. Morrison, Moran. Gives it down to Laycock. Morrison. Moran for Hutchinson. That takes a wicked deflection and will scoot all the way down to Sanderson, who again will labor his way to the ball.
That may not have even been deflected. That might have been 10 feet wide.
I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, Steve. As Moran, that ball fired right at Forbes, and it hits him right in the chest, right in the numbers.
And again, they're missing opportunities there. And again, they're putting new personnel out here in the power play that are not accustomed to being in that position. But when that ball works its way down the crease, it's a perfect opportunity for the shooter then to slide in the middle and look for a quick stick coming through. So again, just a lot of learning to do for this young squad. And
is only Cole Hutchinson's fourth game of the year. They're obviously also missing Everest Malone Wickens and Jonah Kerr, who we saw leave the game. The last home game they were against Point Edward with I'll say a concussion, but I'm not 100% sure. I wasn't let in on that information.
Yep, that's and it's a shame because those two are highly skilled guys. They're really integral part.
Power play.
An integral part of the power play and just their 5-on-5 offensive set, and they really haven't been in the lineup a lot, certainly lately either. So
that's a great save by Sanderson on a good move by Cole Hunsberger, who again has 4 tonight. Matched his Carter Moran's 4 tonight. As Thompson will give it off now, Cochran. Gives it out to Moran. Moran for Laycock. Laycock takes a bump. That shot just wide and out of play. And you got to say, Steve, when you look at the Owen Sound offense, and particularly their offensive, more-minded players, you'd say probably Jordan Cochran's the guy that has the keys to the offense, where if he can get going for this North Stars team, they're going to become a pretty dangerous offensive team.
Yeah.
Cochran's kind of struggled early in this year as that ball's played into the middle, misses, and caught by Sanderson.
Yeah, he's got a lot of tools, nice size, comes from good bloodlines, and, if he can put it together, he will certainly be a force.
Moran bounces it there to Tyson Morrison. Lemon takes a bump from his numerical counterpart in Ryan McDougall. That ball given off there to Holden Stevenson, who puts that ball right into the cup of Sam Forbes, who'll make the save. That ball bouncing. Down goes Evan McDougall. And that possession should go to Owen Sound, though, but tie up in the boards. As McDougall is trying to rip it away, and ball still loose on the ground. And now retrieved by West Grand, who should get the reset. No, they don't.
No, they had the initial possession, so it's still on their clock. So again, we're going to have a situation where you're probably not even going to get all the offense out.
Nope,
since they haven't even, they're just getting center with 9 seconds to go in the shot clock.
That ball quickly played for Moran. Moran will fire. I believe that is saved.
Yep,
by Forbes, but it's retrieved anyway by Elora there by Redwood in the neutral zone.
Yeah, when you're down 4 with 10 minutes to go in a period, you certainly can't be turning away offensive possession. So again, the transition game needs a lot of work, and that's just sort of repetition and knowing where to be and executing.
And again, not having some key guys also doesn't help that. As Wilson will try to make his way through, he does, fires and scores, and again, that low glove side, as you mentioned, Steve, has been Brindley Wilson's target, and that's his 4th of the night.
Yeah, with him, you've just got to take that top side away, and by that I mean like where his stick is, overplay outside, make him try to go underneath, but don't let him reach around you with that stick because he's absolutely deadly. He just rolls there, takes the defender, and gets an inside position, and yeah, he is just too tough to handle.
That's back down to a 5-goal lead. Again, Owen Sound in this very period was within 2, and now they're back down 5 with about 10 minutes left here in this third and potentially final period. A lot of sand has eclipsed from this hourglass as down goes the North Star. And again, this game might get even more chippy as we've seen some physicality off ball, and I wouldn't expect that to be any less so.
Yeah.
With the game maybe getting out of reach for Owen Sound, you could expect. As Detweiler makes a run for it. Giving off for Wilson. Levine making his way around. J.J. Levine looking to fire, will look to pass, now he loses it. Ball bounced away as Levine will retrieve it. Levine will take a bump. Levine take another bump. Levine fires and saved by, it looked like Sanderson in the end.
Yeah, and again, they put a little pressure here, knowing that they're having a tough time in transition, and again, they just aren't able to shake these defenders. And great shot there by Cochran to make me eat my words.
Telling you, that commentator jinx, they hear us, I swear. That shot from Lemon goes behind the net. No one knew where it was exactly, neither did Forbes. As Laycock looked to be holding Stevenson were behind the net. Two of the biggest guys there on the North Stars team, but they couldn't retrieve it.
No, and again, just winning these little ball battles. I mean, Elliot Thompson's done a fabulous job on the draws, but the other guys on the ball team are just not doing the job picking up all his face-off wins.
And Gerard will have a chance to retrieve it there. He's whacking it away. Again, has not gained possession. He does now, so it'll be a reset. Raise the shot clock went to go about Ethan Kerr now. Waiting for the offensive guys, and that was a good defensive possession by Owen Sound, but where was that, you'd say, maybe 5 minutes ago, Steve?
Yep.
Callum Brown gives it off to Moran. Moran for Lemon, takes a couple bumps, looking to get it away. He does to Morrison. Morrison, nice move. Morrison takes a tumble while he does it. Ball now to Talon Brown. Now in, shot that well saved in the pad there of Forbes.
Yeah, he kind of ran himself by the net and had nowhere really to go with that shot. But again, good to see them get inside.
And now Wilson, that shot just wide. But again, on the offhand, you'd say, Steve, I'm surprised Wilson went that way as Stewart and Elora to chippy there in front of the net. That's Connor Wilmets. It's going to be a possession change in favor of Owen Sound because of it. That's now away will come Owen Sound.
You see, there we go again. It just...
Boy, Carter Moran just got met there by Landon Kreisco. And again, now, oh yeah, there's going to be a little bit of shoving there as a downed Cochran wants a bit of hold, and now Moran's got a hold of the helmet and pulls it off. And now Cochran goes after him, and this may be a little bit of a brouhaha here as Moran's got a hold of it. Looks like Dave Verbeek. And everybody wants a dance partner here, Steve. Everybody wants a dance partner. And now they're going to send it, looks like, Nolan Gerard. And Gerard's pointing, and again, Laycock's now got involved, and...
Yeah, this is not going to end well for the Owen Sound offense, that's for certain. You're probably going to see both Jordan Cochran and Carter Moran being shown the gate.
And Moran's still barking. He really wants a piece of Trey Verbeek. Oh, and again, some pushing and shoving, guys. Again, where you kind of wish you had more guys, more referees, Steve, because 2 referees trying to stop 10 guys full of adrenaline and testosterone is not exactly good odds, you'd say, Steve. Not exactly good odds.
No.
And here's a replay of what happened. I saw Moran get absolutely dumped by Landon Kreisco.
Yeah, and again, that was just a well-timed hit because it was a suicide pass.
And then you see him go down there as Cochran just kind of gives him a whack as he goes down. And obviously, Kreisco didn't like that, and neither did his teammate there in Owen Williams, and that's where everything started. So again, it'll be interesting to see, A, who gets tossed, and B, who comes out with all the minors.
Yeah, well, Jordan Cochran was getting the original, probably for an illegal cross-check. You can't cross-check a player on the ground, and certainly when they don't have the ball. But, yeah, so we'll see what happens, but I can't imagine that Owen Sound won't come out on the short end of this call.
As Stewart and Bradley Wilson will converge with the referees, we'll get a chance they'd like to thank Pizza Hut. Visit them at 669 10th Street West here in Owen Sound. Call them at 519-371-5660, or you can visit the website you see there on your screen. They're also on Skip the Dishes. I know, again, Steve, as he jogged up here to the booth, he
grabbed a couple of slices on the way, and Owen will probably grab a couple of slices on the way home.
If they're still there, I'll be in the lineup for it, no doubt. Yep.
And you see there, Elliot Thompson also on the bench. I'm not sure if he was in the fracas. I don't think he was in the end.
No, he wasn't. Had Nate Laycock and a couple. They're all the old guys for the most part out there, or just getting out there. So, it's unfortunate that Owen Sound kind of let this get away from them in the third period. With 7:35, they still got a time to climb back in. But when you're down 5 against a potent offense like Elora.
And now we don't know where the Miners are going to go, Steve, either.
Yeah, no, and I think they're likely going to at least be one man down. There's certainly a lot of discussion with the man with the tablet in the penalty box. So.
And again, we always make the jokes what the referees talk about in that tablet look, but regardless, we'll take a chance to look at our upcoming games here for the Junior B North Stars. Again, a 7-game homestand. This is the beginning of it. This is 1 of 7. You see they're at home on the first against Windsor, then at home against London on the second. Then the next weekend they got home against Six Nations, and home against Wallaceburg. Some teams that records aren't as good as the Junior B North Stars. Maybe you could say are games that the North Stars are expected to win, want to win, and keep themselves above water here against, and again, in a very tough division with the Regals, the Mohawks, and I'm trying to think of the last team here, as my brain just completely skips it, and Cambridge, the Highlanders.
Yeah, they're right back at it on Saturday night, and prior to that at 2 p.m. we'll have our first MSL Senior A game in Owen Sound since 1995. So,
as you wear the MSL gear,
yes,
Mr.
I
GM.
do. Yes, so coming off a loss last night in Brooklyn, but again, ultra young squad put up a great fight. We went down 16-11, but again, I think over the course of our 2 games, we've had 16 or 17 players play their first ever MSL game, and they were up against a squad that I think boasted 18 of their 20 runners were all NLL professionals. So, they certainly played well, and it's certainly a shout out to Caleb Martin, who again stood tall in net and got a little worn down by the third period. But nonetheless, the whole squad hung in there, and a lot of bright spots. So we're looking forward to 2 p.m. on Saturday.
As now all the penalties are getting read out by Fred Wallace. We haven't seen anything on the board yet, so as much as I want to listen to Fred, I know it's going to be a laundry list of players getting tossed and players getting minor, so I'm not exactly going to reiterate all of that. I'm just going to wait for what comes up on the board, for what is going to actually, I'll say, affect the game here.
I mean, neither gate is open, so, I mean, that may bode well for both teams in this, with all the pushing and shoving. The referees may have come to the conclusion that...
now Miner's going to go up against Owen Sound. You got to think somebody's getting in the box.
That will be likely Jordan...
no, it's Garrard. It's Garrard.
Okay.
Well, I saw the referee there, Coulter, pull Garrard away. I'm not sure if he said something or not, because he really didn't get involved in the fracas. And now Moran's going to go, as well as the captain there for Elora and Owen Williams. And now away will go Garrard, pardon me. Actually, wait, no. Doesn't look like Garrard to me. Looks like Jackson Ray. So I think Garrard got tossed.
Unless they've got 23 up there instead of 3. And it could be a little error on the scoreboard. But
that could be true as well.
Yeah. Somebody's sitting, serving the... And you've got Carter Moran in the position that he could go out the door in the gate. So that could be... He could be the guy that's up representing that man-down situation.
But again, Owen Williams, one of the more main defenders for Elora, while Carter Moran, one of the main offensive players for the North Stars. So you could say maybe this power play really does get a leg up there, especially with Moran being deadly in the shorthanded opportunities. Wilson gives it off. Detweiler fires that ball wide, and it's going to skip about halfway as it's retrieved. Hunsberger for Wilson. Detweiler.
You got Owen Sound gone to the diamond here, but they've got to really be quick to rotate if you're going to do that against a team that moves the ball so well.
That was a good save there by Sanderson. Quickly up for Gardner Patak. Patak in a fire into the middle. That ball tipped by Morrison, and it's going to go right back to Elora.
Yeah, I mean, again, a good idea, but it was a day late and $1 short on that pass. He would have been best just to hang on, and I know they're looking to get goals, but that was he had no hope to force that pass in there.
And again, you want to chew that 30 seconds off the power play. But again, as you mentioned, Steve, it's double-edged sword because you're down by 5. You got to find a way to score too.
Yeah. I mean, had the right idea, just wasn't in a position to execute. He'd already run by the net, who he was trying to hit, so.
And a great save there by Sanderson on the Hunsberger effort, as now the whistle will go, and a chance here for Owen Sound, but they got to get the ball over here half in 10 seconds.
Again, like the defenders are going to the bench with their heads down. They're leaving the ball carrier, with no outlet. So again, there's a lot of stuff going to have to be worked on in practice to get this transition game cleaned up so they can take advantage.
Keegan Detweiler gives it off to Wilson, Levine, Wilson, Detweiler, Levine, back down for Hunsberger. Levine shot, that ball saved by Sanderson, who has, in fairness to the 12 goals allowed, I think Sanderson's probably been maybe the best player for the North Stars here tonight, maybe bar Carter Moran, as that ball sent wide by Kerr and lands out of play. They may be able to establish possession in the offensive zone, Steve, but that'll be about all they get here on the rest of this power play, as they're under 8 now on the power play.
Yeah, and they'll probably want to work it down low. You're not going to likely see a long shot. They don't want to see something come off the boards and have someone like Carter Moran leak out and be rewarded with a breakaway. Although it is
Jackson Ray
that came out. So Carter is sitting the offsetting penalties with the captain, Owen Williams, from the Mohawks.
So both captains are now in the box, as looks like a hobbled Sanderson's going to run into the bench. So I guess 6-on-5 from here on out for Owen Sound. They're down by 5. Got to find a way to get some offense. Cochran off for Hutchinson. Laycock late to come off the bench. Morrison making his way around. Morrison shot. That ball saved by Forrest. Bouncing. And they're going to send, actually, ironically, so they switch Sanderson. So now in will come Miles Plater. I kind of like that switch, though, Steve, because Plater obviously doesn't have the hobbled ankle.
Yeah, he would win the 13-yard dash of goaltenders. Yeah, so. Well, he's probably got a 40, 50, probably a 65-foot run to the bench door. So
that shot saved. First save of the night there for Miles Plater, who will play it up and run to the bench as he does it. As Kerr struggled with it for a second, Kerr will now retrieve it. He takes a bump. As waiting there for a second, as that ball bouncing around, still bouncing around, as Stevenson does retrieve it in the end. Hutchinson gives it out to Stevenson. Nobody saw it, and now taken by Elora. Sliding for it there was Verbeek. And now Brindley Wilson will come up the floor again against Plater. Wilson looking for Detweiler. Detweiler lost his stick, though, on the pick exchange. That shot saved there by Plater, who will give it off and go. And running up the floor will go Jackson Ray, the guy who served the other minor. Ray will give it off to Cochran. Again, Owen Sound without Carter Moran for who knows how long, and that's a costly guy to not have on this 6-on-5 opportunity. Cochran just fired right into the chest of Forbes, so quickly off will go Laycock, and quickly on will come poor Plater, who's getting his steps in now, Steve.
Yeah.
Passed across, just got set. That ball just wide there is Levine. Just couldn't get that one on target. Maybe had a...
Yeah, he had Miles Plater dancing pretty good there, but again, Miles stood in long enough that Levine put it ball wide.
Morrison will just fire it back. What a pass to Hutchinson. Just got there. Hutchinson. Cochran. Back for Hutchinson. Hutchinson fires off the post and saved, as Cochran will go back to retrieve the fresh shot clock. As Cochran now go off. Played across the top now. Lemon, that shower into the chest of Forbes. As quickly off's going to go. Lemon, I think. Whistle's going to go here.
They're going to call back in. They're going to say that the ball carrier stepped in the crease as he retrieved the rebound. And Owen Sound get another look here, 6-on-5.
Poor Plater's going to have a little bit of an extra breath there. Maybe a good thing, is again making that run, and all that equipment can't be easy. Laycock fires over. That shot saved off the pad there. Hutchinson with the shot. Laycock almost lost it. What a whack there to keep it in for Morrison. Clags. Morrison. That shot, raise the whistle goes, and timeout taken by Owen Sound.
That was a timely timeout, as it would. They're going to get Carter Moran out now because of the stoppage in play. They might have wanted to do that a little earlier. They've been sitting there for quite a while. waiting for a time, full stoppage in play to get released from the penalty box area.
But in fairness, Steve, again, Elora's captain there, Owen Williams, one of their better defenders. So as much as Owen Sound will get a big offensive piece in Carter Moran, you could argue Elora gets just as big a piece defensively.
Well, I would take the Carter Moran over Mr. Williams, irregardless of how good a defender. When he's the focal point of the Owen Sound offense, as you see, they're struggling mightily to create any kind of scoring opportunity with him sitting in the sin bin, and they'll have to work miracles to get within striking distance here, down 5 with 2:18 to play. But it's happened before in this crazy game.
Again, lacrosse, no lead is ever really safe, which is why it's so entertaining. It's just you never really know when a lead is safe until the clock hits 0. And I think Laycock's going to start with it, I think. And yes, he will. Laycock giving off to Morrison. Quick pressure here by Elora. Moran tries to make a dash for it. He'll go around the net in Gretzky's office. Played up and taken immediately away. And it's a free run here for Elora. And it should be, and it will be, Owen Tovell's second of the night. 13-7 now Elora. And if 5 wasn't enough, I think 6 will be with 2 minutes left here.
Yeah, tough break. I mean, Carter Moran trying to make something from the field lacrosse X position, and Elora had their sticks up, was able to knock that pass down and take it the distance, 200 feet to the empty net.
And guess who had their sticks there,
yeah.
Steve? It was Owen Williams and Owen Tavell.
Yeah.
And now face-off went all the way back into the Owen Sound zone. Tip, that's going to be back in and out. No, it's not. Pryor just whacked it away.
And again, Elliot Thompson wins the draw, and they're unable to take advantage.
Again, he's a big add back for Owen Sound.
Yeah.
As again, without him, they had a lot of struggles in the face-off dot.
Yeah, he's a big body. He has a lot of leadership on their D-core, and he's invaluable as a draw guy.
Trying to get away there was Evan McDougall. McDougall trying to get away as Detweiler's at the screen. Detweiler's going to go back again. Going to fire that ball well wide, and now it'll go the other way. As again, quickly out is going to go Miles Plater.
Yeah, with a minute 18 here, at least you can run some live practice here on your 6-on-5 and try to come up with a play that might come in more useful in a game where it's a little tighter. I don't think that's what they called.
And that ball's bouncing around, a couple different whacks at it. That ball fired well wide, and that might skip all the way down in favor of Elora, and it will. As up the floor went Elora, and that's a wide open cage off the bar! Cole Doherty misses, and now Gardner Matok the other way.
Yep, Owen Sound is all discombobulated. They've got 3-4 runners on the floor. They're missing a guy, but there we go.
A couple guys.
Well, they got the goalie back in, but they were playing without
2.
Yeah, for a bit there, and
Moran for Morrison. Morrison fires, saved by Forbes. And that might be the last possession of the game.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see Elora advance the ball, and they can pretty much eat this clock up with a second to spare.
And they'll probably just roll it at that second, Steve, to make sure that shot clock doesn't go off.
Yep. Well, again, we saw the North Stars hang in here with one of the best teams in the league, and it's just they came up short here in the third period. Got that first one early to make it 9-7, but that's all she wrote on the O side, and Elora, as they say, the cream rise to the top, and Aurora was just too much to handle.
Well, Owen Sound did make an advantage there between their last matchup. In the last one between the Mohawks and the North Stars, it was a 14-3 win in favor of the Black Shirts. As the North Stars come out on the losing end of this one, it's their second straight loss, while the Mohawks now go on a 5-game winning streak. With that one, they're now 12-2-1 on the season. And Steve, we may be looking at a team that expects to be in the final of the OLA championship.
Yeah, they're certainly, they're well balanced. They're from the goaltending on out, they look like they don't really have much in the way of weaknesses. They certainly have the most potent offense of any club we've seen here so far, and statistically, I'm sure that bears out right across the league. Yeah, but I mean, again, Owen Sound has shown they can play with the real good teams in spurts. It's just the consistency, a lot of things that they need to clean up, whether it be loose ball possession off draws, transition from their own end into the offensive zone, you know, getting some more looks without relying on that perimeter game. And yeah, but I mean, they have lots to work with, a lot of good young players, and if they get their full complement of offensive players back, then they'll put a scare into a few teams, no doubt.
For sure, and again, I think health right now is a massive concern for Owen Sound. Lone Wiccan's not here tonight. Jonah Kerr obviously not here tonight from the injury we saw in the last home game against Point Edward. Obviously, you saw Nick Sanderson not come out after he went to the bench the first time because of that ankle. You saw there as his I'll say, brisk walk to the bench, because again, he just hobbled. So his Owen Sound team needs to find a way to get healthy, and they had a bunch of home games, so maybe that'll help, not having to get on the bus and make the long drive to, you know, wherever. If that's Elora, if that's London, if that's Wallaceburg, they don't have to make that travel for the next couple weeks.
Yeah, they've had a real tough schedule to start with, so many games on the road, and then they've played really most of the top teams in the league as well. So, you know, they're done with St. Catharines, they're now done with Elora, they're done with Cambridge. So I mean, they'll start seeing some home games here filtering in with clubs that are actually below them in the standings. So they just have to, you know, continue to work hard, continue to improve, and you know, work on the deficiencies that have been, you know, shown when they play against the tougher, bigger, stronger clubs, and hopefully they can, you know, make the improvements they need to do while looking at a playoff spot.
While looking out to the weekend, again, Saturday and Sunday, they're back in action here in Owen Sound. As you mentioned, the MSL team also in action on Saturday, their home opener here in Owen Sound. So big weekend here of Lacrosse. A bunch of teams play. Senior B also play, I believe it's Sunday, so lots of lacrosse this week and weekend, but specifically with the Junior Bs, they host this weekend, again, 2 games. London to start off with on the first. Again, a game you'd think they should be able to win as you look at the leading point getters for Owen Sound. Obviously not up to date now at the game tonight, but Carter Moran up there, as you see, they play Windsor and then they play London. 2 games that you'd think Owen Sound would be the favorites in. So again, points that are up for grabs for Owen Sound here at home, and they need to be able to get some wins, get some momentum, especially here at home.
Yeah, I mean, Windsor, who is traditionally a real strong club, must be in some kind of rebuilding mode. They're not the potent team that they tend to be. London, I think, started off 3-1 or 3-0, and I think they might be winless in their last 8 games or so. So again, they're primed to come into town, and you know, Owen Sound can't take anybody lightly. They certainly had a 1-9 team come in last home game with the Pacers, and they gave them all they can handle. So, you know, they got to come up, they got to play within themselves, play their game plan, and you know, continue to improve on areas that they've been shown to have deficiencies in.
Yeah, you also saw there the next weekend, they've got Six Nations coming to town. A team that you also mentioned with Windsor is perennially one of the top teams. They were undefeated last year in the regular season. They ended up winning the championship, lost in the finals to Akwesasne, but that Six Nations team, they're around 500. But guess what? They beat that Elora team that we just saw, I believe 9-6. So that Six Nations team is, again, can't be taken lightly. You've got to take every game, especially almost like a playoff game now, as it goes on the stretch.
Yeah, they certainly, that's why. They can't give up anything from the teams that are chasing them, and they'd like to steal 1 or 2 from teams that are ahead of them, really, to solidify one of those top 8 positions and get into the playoffs.
Well, it looks like that'll be it here for us. For Steve McCarthy and myself, Spencer Byers, thank you so much for tuning in to OLA Junior B Lacrosse. It is a 13-7 win in favor of the Elora Mohawks over the Owen Sound North Stars, but stay tuned. Lots of lacrosse this weekend here on Rogers TV.
All right.
Thank all 3 guests for their illuminating stories and we invite you to our next episode. Until then, I'm Richard Eve Satosky. What's your story?
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Hi, I'm Tiffany James, the host of Her Story. Join us on Rogers TV as I interview various women in our community on how they found success in their own way.
It's time to